I'm still doing the same thing I did on the other side of the paper. I'm solving by graphing. This is different though, because these equations are not in slope-intercept form. They don't look like this, right? I know how to graph an equation that looks like this, and these don't. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take each equation and I'm gonna rearrange it so that it does look like this. So I'm gonna recopy this first equation. Now, what I want is I want the y by itself on the left side, okay? Now we can see we have an equal sign right here. The y is here, the y is in the right spot, but we need to get rid of everything else that's on this left side besides the y, so that only the y is left over there on the left. The first thing I'm gonna do, I want the x on the right side. So I'm gonna take this term with the x, I'm gonna add 3x to both sides, so that the term with the x is on the right. I'm gonna bring down 4y, okay? And be mindful here, because let's say this was a negative 4, then you would bring down negative 4y. Okay, so just be careful. That's a common mistake, to miss a negative sign right there. Okay, now I'm going to divide by 4. Y is being multiplied by positive 4. Again, if it was negative, I'd be dividing by negative 4. And I get y equals 3 divided by 4, x, right? Now, why did I leave it as 3 over 4? If I put this in my calculator, 3 divided by 4, I'm going to get a decimal. We don't like slopes that are decimals. We like slopes that are fractions. So I'm going to leave it just like this as a fraction. Here, it's a positive divided by a positive. I get positive 3 over 4x. And then 12 divided by 4 is 3. Okay, so now this is an equation that looks like this, and I can graph this line. Okay, so I'm going to go to 3 on my graph. Okay, now I want to graph this slope. Go up 3, right 4. Up 3, right 4. It turns out I don't have space. That's okay. If I don't have space, what I can do is I can just do the opposite, right? Because this is the same as this, right? Because a negative divided by negative is a positive. So I can actually just go down 3 and left 4 instead. And that's the same as if I had gone up 3, right 4, right? You can see I would have ended up with this same line. So I'm going to go ahead and graph it. Okay, so that's that first line. I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing with the next line. This is positive 1x, positive 1y. I'm going to rearrange. So again, I'm going to subtract 1x from both sides. Okay, that's going to leave me with y on the left. And this is negative 1x minus 4. Now look, I got lucky. It turns out this y is already by itself, right? Because this is just a 1y. Now, let's say this y had been multiplied by something like 5 or whatever. I would have had to divide by that number. In this case, though, this is my y equals mx plus b, and I'm ready to graph. I'm going to go start my graph at negative 4, and my slope is negative 1 over 1. So my rise is negative 1, and my run is 1. And again, let's just make sure my line's nice and neat, right? I'm going down 1, right 1. I can also go up 1, left 1, the opposite, in order to just make some more points, make sure my line's nice and neat. Okay, looks like that. My solution is right here. That point is negative 4, 0. Okay, you're going to go ahead and try this problem so that you can make sure you're ready for the quiz.